The first thing we're going to do is we're going to convert a fraction greater than 1 into a mixed number. So in order to do this and do this effectively, we have to make sure that the fraction we have, for instance, I'm going to take 23 fifths. In order to be a fraction greater than 1, the numerator has to be greater than the denominator. As long as the numerator is greater than the denominator, it is going to give you more than one whole. A lot of people call it an improper fraction, but it is the same thing. A fraction greater than one whole is an improper fraction. And it's improper again because the numerator is greater than the denominator. There are a couple ways that you can convert this into a mixed number. One of the ways that we can convert this into a mixed number is we can just use division. We can divide 5 into 23, and I'll use partial quotients in order to solve. So I'm doing 5 times a number as close as I can get to 23, which would be 4. 5 times 4 is 20. I'm going to subtract, and then I would get 3. And how I normally teach my students is I will go 4 as being the whole, 3 as being the numerator, and 5 as being the denominator. So my answer would be 4 wholes and 3 fifths. So we know that 23 fifths would be, if we convert it into a mixed number, would be 4 wholes and 3 fifths, and I can check that by multiplying 5 times 4, which is 20, and adding 3, that'll give me 23. So that's the same as 23 fifths. Another way, if your student struggles a little bit with division, you can make sure that they understand that 23 fifths has to be broken down into wholes. So they should know by looking at the denominator that 5 fifths will give you 1 whole. So I got 5 fifths plus 5 fifths, which is 10 fifths. I add 5 more fifths, which is 15 fifths. I add 5 more fifths, which is 20 fifths, and then I add 3 fifths, which would give me 23 fifths. And this would be equivalent to 1 whole, 1 whole, 1 whole, 1 whole, and 3 fifths. And if I add all of my wholes together, I would get 4 wholes, and then I add my fraction, I would get 3 fifths. So I can do division in order to solve, to find my mixed number, or I could break it apart, partition it off into wholes, and repeatedly add until I get to 23 fifths or 4 wholes and 3 fifths. This is going to be extremely important with us moving forward, trying to solve for multiplying wholes by a fraction. So I want to make sure that we went over this and got some clarification before we move to the next step, which is wholes by a fraction.